And welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. I'm Luca Blight, and welcome to Chapter 4. When we last left off, we healed Arl Eamon, and we got rid of Flemeth, so Morgan is safe, and of course we kind of resolved the whole love triangle between me, Liliana, and Morgan, which I'll explain my decision in that. Think about it like this. If you remember, Alistair told us we would die within, give or take 30 years. I figure it's better, because, I have my duty and blah, blah, blah. And I'm pretty sure me and Morgan are kind of more one and the same. In that, once the deed is done, we're probably going to go our separate ways. But you never know. But at the same time, it's like, Liliana deserves someone that will make her happy. Me! Yeah. I haven't been faithful, blah, blah, blah. So, I'm sure she'll be fine. In fact, let's talk to her.
She's a lucky girl, Morgan.
And how is she lucky?
She caught your eye. Though looking at her, it is not difficult to see why.
She is interesting once you get to know her.
Well, I want you to know I am happy for you.
Well, I am thankful for that. Anything else you need to say on the matter?
You've seen and touched Andraste's ashes. They are the holiest thing on this earth. The remains of the Maker's chosen.
Or perhaps she'll go back to her chantry type thing ways. It is quite remarkable, though, yes.
I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her.
Andraste fought for everyone. She belongs to us all.
Yes, of course, but it still is something to be in awe of. I know that look. You have something on your mind, don't you?
I'm a guy, so yeah, I typically always have something on my mind.
Of course.
I'm sorry I had to end it.
Don't apologize. It is something you felt you needed to do. I cannot question that. And life goes on, yes? I will be alright. Come, let's move on.
Oh, I'm glad she's such a good sport about it. Wow, that's admirable.
Maybe this isn't the best time to be thinking about this, but I've something to ask you. Chances are we'll be heading to Denerim soon. And when we're there, I wonder if we might be able to look someone up.
Okay, we'll get what's coming to him, I promise you.
No, I know that. That's not what I'm talking about. The thing is, I have a sister, a half-sister. I told you about my mother, right? She was a servant at Redcliffe Castle and she had a daughter. Only, I never knew about her. I don't think she knew about me either. They kept my birth a secret after all. But after I became a Grey Warden, I did some checking and, well, I found out she's still alive. In Denerim.
Okay. So, who is she to you, really?
She's the only real family I have left. The only family not also mixed up in the whole royal thing. I've just been thinking that maybe it's time I went to see her. With the blight coming and everything, I don't know if I'll ever get another chance to see her. Maybe I can help her. Warn her about the danger, I don't know.
If you want, we could try.
Could we? I'd appreciate that. If something happened to her and I never went to at least see her, I don't know if I could forgive myself. Her name is Goldana, and I think she remarried but still lives just outside the alienage. If we're in the area, then, well, it's worth a look.
Alright, so we got a new quest. Also need to redistribute gifts. Start with Liliana.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
Well, that pretty much all but made up for what I did. Fenris, no. Shale. No. When? That's...
Most kind.
Never mind, she didn't like it. Zebron, Silverbar.
I shall treasure it. Thank you.
Up. Next. Oh, it increases this, does it? And yeah, instead of getting... I forgot what I got last time. I decided to get... oh yeah, I think it was stealing. No. There's nothing I really need to prove. I guess traps number 2. Means I can detect them from further away. So let's talk to Wynn.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
You alright?
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
There's still some life left in those old bones, I bet.
Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
I'm sure you'll be around for years yet.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't.
Oh, don't be such a pessimist. I only got a +1 on all that?
Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
Oh, yes. Well, there was Connor.
Ah, yes, Connor, of course. The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they're not really all that intimidating, but, I mean, once you think about the possibility of you yourself becoming one, then yeah.
Every mage is vulnerable, no matter how accomplished or powerful. That is the first thing we learn, and overconfidence can lead to recklessness. One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness. And there is no turning back. Or at least that's what they say.
She has a point, considering what became of Uldred.
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured. Or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity.
If one retains one's humanity, one is not an abomination.
Yes. It is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it.
+4. Alright, that's a good start. Oh, and then we got some funny scenes with Fenris, which I will show you.
Oh, why, you little...
Did you just jump at the sight of your own shadow again?
Oh, you're so funny. Such rapier wit.
I try.
Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me. Look.
Good boy, that'll teach Alistair a lesson.
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me. I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Now listen, Alistair, he's full of rubbish.
Hey!
Look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
Can't be stinkier than what normally goes into them.
I am going to pretend I never heard that. Dirty Mungle can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
Don't do it again. You're a war dog, not a nursemaid. Oh there!
Your dog is filthy. I can smell him 50 yards off.
Oh, that's just Alistair. Good, he will fill our enemies with his stench.
That may be so, but all the same, I would like your permission to bathe him.
Bathe? Can't you just wave your staff and make him clean?
No, that's not what magic is used for. Just make him sleep over on the other side of the camp. With Alistair. With any luck, that will keep all the stench confined to one small area.
Oh, damn. No respect for Alistair.
Yes, it is good to have my sword at my side again.
Hey?
Call her Asala, the soul, my soul. She is forged from rare blue steel and has served me faithfully for many years. Yes, you understand what it is like to have a weapon that is part of you. Few others do.
Interesting. Back away slowly.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
What? Trying to find a way through the earth, are we? It's going to take some time, you know. Well, good luck with that. Pet him. Oh, yep, just roll all up in the muck. Yep. Considering Wynn just cleaned you. Yep, just completely destroy any and all work she did for you. Where's Zevron at? Oh, there he is. Hiding in a corner. Shady bastard.
Here I am.
Here you are.
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
Why did you want to leave the crows exactly?
Well now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin after all is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it?
So you're simply bored? Oh, you didn't choose to join them?
To be truthful, I didn't even know the crows existed when I joined them. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die.
And that system works?
Of course. You compete against your fellow assassins, and those who survive are rightfully proud of it. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. Gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining.
So what is it you fancy exactly?
I fancy many things. I fancy things that are beautiful, and things that are strong. I fancy things that are dangerous and exciting. Would you be offended if I said I fancied you?
Whoa, I guess not.
This is good to know. As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go.
And when you get your first chance to betray me?
And be slaughtered? Perish the thought. Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so.
Ooh, I gotta disapprove.
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so.
Okay.
And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You are respected, you are feared, the authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses, even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree?
You've never killed an innocent?
Now there's an interesting word, innocent. How many men do you know who can claim to be truly innocent? But if you're talking generalities, such as children and relatives and bystanders and such, never on purpose. But it happens. It's unfortunate, but death comes to us all. If not me, then some wasting disease, or a fall down the stairs, or at the hands of a darkspawn. It's all relative in the end.
That's a practical attitude.
Death happens, as we like to say, and when I get paid for it, death happens more often. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed, the pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands.
Well, that's kind of morbid. That's a bit sick. But I do enjoy a good bit of violence myself.
You enjoy getting the blood flowing, whether it is yours or others? Yes, I know the type. There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules. Oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else?
I guess.
Whereas I am content merely doing what I happen to be good at. It's a talent that not many come by, honestly. I don't see why I need not pursue it. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them.
I got a plus. Did you just die? Okay, apparently not.
All right, but I get to stay.
Yes.
While you do so.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that.
Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom. Or so the saying goes.
Don't you want to go back?
It's not really a matter of wanting to go back. I cannot go. At least not yet. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable?
I was born in Highever in the north.
Oh, I have never seen that place. I am sure it has its charms, and its dogs. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most.
Into bondage, are you?
I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else.
And that's a hint. If you... Actually, I think we get some leather boots later.
Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather. Perfect craftsmanship. But I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no?
Your home is still there, though.
True, and it's a comforting thought. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a handsome Grey Warden? A man who then spares my life? I could not.
Stop hitting on me. Not that that's a bad thing, but you need to make the most of where you are.
Quite right you are. I see the Grey Wardens do not recruit fools. It's all the same to you. I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal.
No, they recruited Alistair. Like I said, no respect for poor Alistair. And lastly, I shall talk a little to Shale.
I see it found some augmentation crystals. I was not even aware it knew about them. Well done. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is.
Ah, don't be ridiculous. They're useful. They look fine, I suppose.
Spoil sport. I think they're lovely.
Someone
I
has to.
think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak. I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them.
Well, that could be good or bad.
Good, of course. It doesn't want to have anything in common with all those other filthy substandard human types, does it? Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings?
My father was the Turn of Highever.
Oh, then that must be it. I knew there had to be some reason, it being a human and all. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless.
And we wouldn't want that.
Indeed. Can it imagine the horror? Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought.
Lots of perishing of thoughts going on here.
It speaks.
It does. You're still with me, I see.
Yes, its adventures are interesting, even if the chances for success are remarkably slim. It would be better to throw oneself off a cliff, I suspect. Does it wish me to leave? I can, though I see no reason to go.
What? No! You're quite helpful.
No doubt. Without me, it would have to carry its inventory on its own. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling.
Didn't get nothing out of that.
It speaks.
It does. I would have expected golems to be different.
Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, Master, I exist to serve the Master. I shall kill for the Master and only for the Master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks, if it likes.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I have never met another golem. I have no idea what one might be like, or why I wouldn't be like them. Why? Has it met other golems? Did they not sound as I do?
You just seem very animated.
I don't know what other golems might be like, but I am already superior by virtue of my free will. This is a good thing.
It's an experience, I'll give it that.
So is being drawn and quartered. Maybe I'm not the only one with a smart mouth. Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting.
That's what she said. Ah, really is.
It speaks.
It does. I have questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
Not really, although I can hear my audience saying, yes, Luca, we get it. You want to interact with characters, but please get on with the actual story. I'm told you killed your former master.
Did I not already tell it that I do not remember doing such? I remember having a master. My memories of what happened to him are vague.
Vague, but not non-existent.
Clever and true. Oh, very well. Let me see what I can recall. My former master enjoyed experimenting upon me. I remember that much. There was tinkering with spells, and then the crystals. He was very eager to alter my function, I think.
What sort of experiments?
Bah, I am no mage, and he did not explain himself to me, any more than it would explain itself to a sword. He possessed my control rod, and back then, it would have prevented me from doing anything he did not command me to, no matter how I might have wished to. So what happened? I am unsure. He was experimenting, and then nothing.
So he hit the kill me button by accident?
Oh, ho, ho. It does like to laugh, does it? But who knows? I may have such a thing. And then he was gone. I was standing where I was, in the village, and I could no longer move. The villagers came, poked and prodded me in fear, and then realized they could neither move me nor destroy me. So they simply left me. And in time, I forgot I hadn't stood there all along.
You didn't wonder where he'd gone?
Wonder? I was glad that he was gone. For so many years, I'd had to leap to that little toadstool's every command. Get this, pick up that, put it down, pick it up again. The gall! At first, I'd hoped he'd simply decided to leave me there paralyzed. An acceptable trade-off. After years passed, I simply stopped caring.
Sounds like you had a good rest.
I think I was ready to move on. Another few years and the moss would have covered my face. And then where would I have been? Whatever the mage did seemed to render the control rod useless, for which I should be thankful, yes? And provided it doesn't decide to copy his experiments, not that I would allow it, it has nothing to fear from me. Much.
Sounds good to me.
The things that it fights, and it fights things often, that is a different story. Let us get back to the walking and the fighting. My stone is beginning to itch again.
That's what he said. Alright, one more.
It speaks. It doesn't have better things to do.
You watched the village night and day for years?
I do not sleep, so yes. And I thank it for reminding me. Try to imagine, if it will, what it would be like to be surrounded by nothing but boring peasants, all oblivious to it.
Sounds like you were a bit of a voyeur.
Oh, yes. It certainly was the height of intrigue to listen to the accounts of how young Dornan had scandalized the village by his purchase of an Orlesian hat. And the argument that those two muddy farmers had over the price of barley for a whole summer. Riveting. And then there were the birds. A whole village full of pigeons and ravens and sparrows all perching on me day in and day out.
Oh, that's what they do. They're birds.
Vermin. How would it like to be paralyzed with squeaking rats crawling all over it and defecating? Those foolish villagers would spread birdseed near me, drawing the birds because they thought having birds perch on me was quaint. Quaint! If there hadn't been the occasional kind soul to scour me clean, I don't care to discuss this anymore.
Ooh, wow. Hold on.
If there's anything I can do for you, please. I'm sure.
I need you to do some friend counseling. And you don't have any runes I want. Pet rock. Inventory. Here you go.
Ooh, shiny.
Herbert. Shall name him Rocky. Oh, you can't do it? Alright. Rocky Bullwinkle. If anybody gets that reference, kudos to you.
It speaks.
I have questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
You don't seem to like humans much.
That is true. I do not. I'm not interested in getting into a discussion on the subject, however. Ask another time. If it is done asking overly obvious questions, let us find some humans to throw off a cliff or something.
Well, either way, mended the friendship between us. Now, how much does everybody like me? Morgan, pretty much full. Liliana, full. Alistair, mostly full. Stan, good enough. No, Shale's almost maxed out. Wynn's got a bit to go, and so does Zevron. As long as everybody's at least in the positive. So that matters. Alright, so our first stop is going to be Denerim, and I will be taking Alistair,
Indeed.
Morgan, and for the moment, Zevron. And our first stop will be Denerim. And I have unfinished business to resolve there. Actually, quite a bit. Including Alistair's, I want to see my sister. And we also got to confront the Antivan crows. Mages, howdy-yo.
Concentrate, like we practiced.
Like you practiced.
Now, fire!
Direct me.
Ooh, nice.
Another corpse on the pile.
That was easy. Ow. And yet, one of the mages still managed to die. Well, at least the old one didn't.
Right.
Game. I was gonna say, we have another random event. Alright, so first things first, we'll go see about Goldana, Alistair's sister. Actually, don't I have something to turn into you?
Those stung with 100.
Yep.
Those who bring
Ooh.
harm.
Quest completed.
That's my sister's house. I'm almost sure of it. This is the right address. She could be inside. Could we go and see?
Sure.
Will she even know who I am? Does she even know I exist? My sister. That sounds very strange. Sister. Oh, now I'm babbling. Maybe we should go. Let's go. Let's just go.
Calm down.
Hello?
Knock knock.
Hey, you have linens to wash? I charge 3 bits on a bundle. You won't find better. And don't trust what that Natalia woman tells you either. She's foreign and she'll rob you blind.
I'm not here to have any wash done. My name's Alistair. Well, this may sound sort of strange, but are you Goldana? If so, I suppose I'm your brother.
My what? I am Goldana, yes. How do you know my name? What kind of tomfoolery are you folk up to?
He's telling the truth. Listen, yeah, you sure this is correct?
Yes, I think so. I'm sure of it, in fact. Look, our mother, she worked as a servant in Redcliffe Castle a long time ago before she died. Do you know about that?
You! I knew it! They told me you was dead. They told me the babe was dead along with mother, but I knew they was lying.
They told you I was dead? Who? Who told you that?
Them's at the castle. I told them the babe was the king's and they said he was dead. Gave me a coin to shut my mouth and sent me on my way. I knew it.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that. The babe didn't die. I'm him. I'm your brother.
For all the good it does me. You killed mother, you did, and I've had to scrape by all this time. That coin didn't last long, and when I went back, they ran me off.
She treats him like Cersei treats Tyrion. She everything you expected, Alistair?
And who in the Maker's name are you? Some servant of his to carry all his riches, I expect.
Watch
Hey,
it,
don't
woman.
speak to him that way. He's my friend. And a Grey Warden, just like me.
Oh, I see. A prince and a Grey Warden too. Well, who am I to think poorly of someone so high and mighty compared to me? I don't know you, boy. Your royal father forced himself on my mother and took her away from me. And what do I got to show for it? Nothing. They tricked me good. I should have told everyone. I got 5 mouths to feed. And unless you can help with that, I got less than no use for you.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
In a way, I actually feel sorry for her, despite, you know, her kind of lashing out on us like it's our fault.
Well, so he's found it. I'm his sister. But what are you to me, boy? Except the one who took my mother away,
You think I wished her dead? I never wanted that. I didn't have the life you think I did, Goldana.
I suppose not. A bastard is still a bastard, isn't he? But brother or no, I've got 5 mouths to feed and no time to spare until they are.
And let me promise you this, Goldana. I'll do whatever I can, speak to whomever I have to ensure you and your children are taken care of.
That sounds all well and fine. But you'll have to forgive me if I don't exactly hold my breath.
You have my promise. I can't give you more than that. Let's go. I want to go. Goodbye, sister.
Well, that went about as well as one could have expected.
Well, that was not what I expected, to put it lightly. I lived up to my promise, I suppose, but this is the family I've been wondering about all my life? I can't believe it. I guess I was expecting her to accept me without question. Isn't that what family is supposed to do? I feel like a complete idiot.
More like naive, but... You are an idiot. How naive can you get? Yeah, sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry too. I guess I should have known better. Let's just go. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Okay, somebody really hit the brakes on hard. I didn't hear a crash, so I assume nobody died. And I need to visit this place, which I'll get into in the next video as soon as the game says load. Alright then, see you all next video.